Hey folks, it's Billy DKY, the truth seeker that simplifies and demystifies. This is going to be my Lao Tzu Ching review, chapter 2. This was not going to be real powerful, at least not for me, but I'm going to do it for completeness anyway. So, do like we did yesterday. Basically going to read through it and then talk about things that make sense to me. Under heaven, all can see beauty as beauty only because there's ugliness. All can know good as good only because there is evil. Therefore, having and not having arise together, difficult and ease complement each other, long and short contrast each other, high and low rest upon each other, voice and sound harmonize each other, front and back follow one another. Therefore, the sage goes about doing nothing, teaching no talking. The 10,000 things arise and falls without cease, creating yet not possessing, working yet not taking credit. Work is done, then forgotten, therefore it lasts forever. Okay, so let's start all over. Basically, the first 1, 2, 8 lines, which ends with, let's start with the first line. Under heaven, all can see beauty as beauty only because there's ugliness. So basically, this first 8 lines, it sort of reminds me of a coin, really. You know, to have a head, you have to have a tail, so they're really part of the same coin, just like, you know, like he says, beauty and ugly. Basically, to have beauty, to know how beautiful something is, you have to have something to compare it to, you know, so they rest upon each other. So anyway, that's basically my take on the first 8 lines. Realize really everything's one, and it's about comparisons and stuff like that. Anyway. Next line, therefore the sage goes about doing nothing, teaching no talking. When he says go about doing nothing, he's not saying, notice it says doing nothing. It doesn't mean sitting down like a Buddha resting there per se. It just means when you're doing stuff, you're not really having an agenda so much as you're just flowing with it. Sort of like that go with the flow, except, you know, go with the flow is a mistake a lot of times because it's really about going towards ego and pleasure, which, you know, going flow's fine as long as those two are not involved. And teaching no talking. So basically he's not going to yak in his mouth all the time. So people are observing, paying attention, even though maybe it's on an unconscious level. They're learning not to talk so much and they can have peace or something like that. Last several lines. The 10,000 things arise and fall without cease. Basically just the way the essence of life flows. Like I said, everything's energy and it's just flowing. If you really sit back and can see it all just happen, it just sort of reminds me of some of those physics experiments, or I don't know, where you just see the energy flowing, or the gases flowing, or water spray flowing, or like plumes. And that's basically what's going on here. But it's happening so slow. And normally up, it's the same thing, except it's going so slow that you don't really notice it. Sort of like the tectonic plates are moving, but they're really moving really slow. You have to speed it up really fast, you know, time really fast to see it happening. Creating yet not possessing. You know, just you're doing work with, and you notice like everybody wants to praise God and stuff. That's your own ego. That's not the universe trying to. It's like, oh, thank you for making me. It's just creating stuff. It's all done. It's not trying to possess you or own you. You don't see, you know, you don't see on anything natural. You don't see made by God on anything, because, you know, the essence is not being egotistical like a human would be. So, working yet not taking credit. And think about it. Most of us, we want to work and we want to take credit for everything. Why is that? Ego. I want my credit for doing what I did. So, work is done, then forgotten, therefore it lasts forever. Well, I don't know about that, because the only thing that lasts forever is the essence. So, I don't know. That's, like I say, this one's not real powerful to me. I don't have a whole lot to say, but I wanted to do it for completeness. And for a while, I'm going to try to do one of these a day. I think some of the later ones are a little bit better. So the first couple I always thought was sort of slow, in my opinion. But anyway, I'll, like I said, I'll till the next video. And like I said before, there'll be the first link to the information section will be the link to this book in at Amazon.com. Second link will be to my path blog. Third link to the Phone the Way of Growth. And until the next video, later folks.